coffee today. It's a good start. Let's talk perspective. I have a video that shows the sun shining up on the clouds, like from underneath, like illuminating the underside of the clouds, because the sun has gone over the curve, or over the horizon, whatever, around the earth. And just happens that day had a straight shot to where it could underlight the clouds. Had a guy tell me that it was perspective, that the sun disappeared and the light was reflecting off the earth. I don't know that people really understand perspective. I mean, a lot of people understand perspective. I don't know that flat earthers understand perspective. The sun, like anything else, as it gets farther away from you on a flat earth scenario, would get smaller because it's getting farther and farther away. I mean, in the flat earth model, the sun is 30 miles wide. It would basically, as it went out of my vision, it would get smaller and smaller. That doesn't happen. Much like the cars you see behind me. The farther away they are, the smaller they are. The one that's right behind me is almost full size, as far as my perspective. The yellow one back there is a little bit smaller. The white truck back there is a lot smaller. Eventually, they'll get so small that I won't be able to see them the farther and farther away they get. But they do get smaller. So, I don't really understand how people can say the sun is disappearing via perspective, yet it doesn't get smaller. When it goes over when it disappears over the horizon, it's the same size as it is when it's overhead. So, to me, that just says that it's not getting farther and farther away. It's just going around the curve. I mean, that would be the most logical thing. If it was a drastic change in size, like the sun literally went to a pinpoint and then disappeared, well, yeah, then, let's talk. Because then it's clearly getting further and further away. And going away from me on a flat plane. But that's not the case. When the sun goes over the curve, it's full size. It's the same size as it was overhead. Much like this line of cars. Watch. As they get closer to me, they'll get larger. That's perspective. And if you could see them go away from me in the front of me, you could see they would get more and more tiny. That's how perspective works. Not just it's full size, it's one size, whatever, the same size, and all of a sudden it just disappears over the curve or out of my view. That's not how perspective works. But anyway, nice try. I mean, I went through the flat Earth rabbit hole, down the flat Earth rabbit hole, and did my own research. Did a lot of reading, a lot of experiments, and came out on the other side, solidly in the globe Earth category. So I would encourage everybody to do that. These militant flat earthers who just, perspective. Come on. I mean, that's a softball. You could easily figure that out, but you don't want to figure it out. You want to just, be in the fun flat earth, everything's a conspiracy land. And, it's a fun place to be. I've been there. And you think you know more than everybody on the earth. And then you start doing experiments. But, to say, that's not to say there's not some weird stuff going on, that NASA lies, the government lies, and there's a lot of stuff covered up. Clearly. I mean, if you want to argue the moon landings with me, I'll have that discussion, because I kind of look at the moon landings like, best case scenario, we did land on the moon and we filled in the gaps in a studio. That's kind of where I'm at. There's enough evidence for me to think that a lot of it went on in a studio. But did we go to the moon? I don't know. I think we probably did. I mean, I don't know. You know, I don't know for sure. But was there stuff done in the studio? Clearly. So if you want to have that discussion, that's fine. But the Earth is not flat. The moon is actually there. The planets exist. Anyway, but I mean, it's a fun discussion. I could see why people like to debate the topic. It's a tantalizing science fiction type, you know, exciting thing to think about. But you know, in reality, I think it's you know, it's a little less interesting than people make it out to be, or a little less conspiratorial. But anyway, that's all I got. I got more, but not relating to this. I'll make other videos. But anyway, hope everybody's doing well. Happy New Year. Yeah, keep researching, keep doing experiments, keep learning. I'll talk to you later.